What is up, everyone? It's Himuken, here to bring you a brand new tutorial video on how to create MangaMation panels. Here I'll be teaching you how to work with working with paneling and putting them in motion and try to make your own motion comic. Now, if you're not a tablet owner, there's nothing wrong with that. You can always use a mouse. It's just it takes a little bit more time to work with. It's much easier if you own a tablet like a Bamboon or a Wacom, but I own a Wacom Cintiq tablet, so it's easier for me to work with since I'm using a touchscreen and mouse. It's costly, but gets the job done, and a lot of other work that I do. Now, if you're looking for chapters and manga panels that you're trying to download without going on other websites to, right click and save and all that trouble you have to go through, I just suggest getting Manga Crawler. Manga Crawler basically searches all the web sources that has all the manga panels online, and it downloads them straight from the website without even going to the website. So you don't even have to worry about going on the website and then right clicking and saving it. It automatically downloads all the chapters for you, and it organizes it for you at the same time. I highly recommend it because it gave me a lot of chapters that I needed, and I got Fist of the North Star and Berserk, so all those are organized, and it saved me a lot of time and trouble. So because I was tired of going through all the advertisements. So yeah, definitely check that out. So let's get started, guys. Alright, so as you can see, I found a panel that I liked, and page 6, I forgot which chapter, but I want this shot of Kenshiro where he's standing, and how I'm going to get rid of this background and all this other extra crap that I'm seeing on the the panels. So I just want this shot. So I'll show you how to do that. It's very easy, and I mean it. It's very, very easy. Even for a mouse user, it's easy. So let me show y'all. Alrighty, so we got the panel inside the software for Photoshop CS6, and first thing you want to do is make sure you double click this, get rid of this lock, because it won't let you duplicate the layer. So once you do that, make a new, hit group, make a new layer, because we're going to use that for whiteout, and we're going to duplicate this again because we're going to keep the original. And we're gonna white all this out. Also, you could do the same by just using the Polygon Lasso tool to white all this out. But before you do all that, here's the one thing I want to show you guys. So all this extra spacing that I don't want in the background, right? So I don't want to waste my time with that. I don't care about this crap. This doesn't even matter to me. This is, like I said, I'm only focusing on this shot of Kenshiro. So what you want to do is you go to the crop tool, which is this fish looking thing, I guess, and when you click on that, it pops up with this dotted line here, look like crawling ants or something, and you see these little visible square panels that you click on. So you just click on it, drag it, and there you go. You don't have to worry about all that spacing. Oops. Hold on, guys. Let me redo that again. It kind of took all the hair away from Kenshiro. I give him a haircut. And there we go. Much better. So now you don't have to worry about all that space, all that extra spacing. So now you want to get the paintbrush. Make sure you click on the black and white paneling, because then that way you could it automatically changes to black and white, because we're not working with colors right now. We're working with just black and white. That's all manga panels have anyway, which should be easier to work with than comic books. And I'm gonna scale this down. Just find a paintbrush that you guys feel comfortable with, because the reason why I say use the paintbrush is because I want to remove some details that are hard to get to, especially with the Polygon Lasso tool. So make sure you're on your new layer, and make sure the layer is over the original manga panel, and just go ahead and paint. Oops. go ahead and paint the textures and letterings that you don't need, and just keep going from there. But yeah, you can still use the lasso tool if you want. I don't care. You guys, you know, it's optional. Reason why I'm showing you guys the this trick, because it'll be easier to cut out the panels rather than using the entire lasso tool to go through all the trouble. You know, like, I don't want to sit there and spend a whole hour using a lasso tool, dragging each pin from the edges and then just cutting it all out. It takes too much time to cut out, you know. So when you do that, so if you ever did this with the lasso tool without, you know, doing this on the original panel and just use this for whiteout, it'll make your job easier to cut, you know, to remove the background. All right, so the background is gone. It's all painted out with the white, so, or you can say whiteout. And I still have this top layer here. But before you merge the layer, I just want to make sure you don't have any open gaps or missing parts that, you know, that I just done right here. Like, oh look, I just noticed I just missed some spots. That's not really a big issue, because even if you did merge it, you can still paint that out. And this trick right here, just make sure you don't have any open gaps, because when you're using the magic brush or the quick select, which will be underneath the magic wand tool, the problem is that the marching ants will go inside the panel. You don't want that to happen. Make sure that the highlight's not inside the panel. It's always on the outside and perfectly on the edges. So just be on the lookout for that. See, look at that. That's an open gap. You can always trace over these two to make sure it's faded in better. Alright, so everything looks great so far, and this is not bad. So, wow, did a pretty good job. I just remembered, do not merge the layers. You want to turn it into a smart object. And basically what that does, it's sort of like merging, but it groups the entire the layers together and puts it in a new layer from inside another window. I'll show you what I mean. So what you do, hold on, I'm using two mouses at the same time. So you highlight the two, click on layer, then you go scroll all the way down to smart objects, and then convert to smart object. And basically what this does, let's say that I combined two cars with two layers, but I want to make sure I can edit both of them at the same time. So I'm going to turn it into a smart object, and it turns into a brand new layer. So that's basically what it does with this panel. So I can do whatever I want with this layer. Well, I can't draw on it, but because if you do that, then it'll reset itself into a new layer, and it just merges it. So it's kind of like safe merging rather than just merging the layer, because you can never go back to working on it, sadly. So this is a new layer, and if you double click on this little page thing right here, this will pop up, and you just click on OK, and then, oh, look at that, you can still go back to the original panels that you just merged together, and you can turn this back on. And then if I click exit with that, if I turn that back on, I click exit, hit yes, then this comes back on again. And you want to turn that off, turn back on the layer that you whited out, hit yes, and it's back into what you started from before. So that comes in really handy. So now what you want to do is give this a layer mask. So you go to layer, scroll all the way down to layer mask, and then hit reveal all. Basically what this does, it gives you a new window, and if you use black or white, then if you use black, it basically erases the entire background of whatever you're removing. If you paint it with white, it brings back the it undoes the things that you erased or removed from the panel or background, whatever you guys are doing. So this is the best way and the safest way to work with panels, so that way you don't have to worry about undoing things ever again if you screw up on something, because I hate starting over again. And a lot of this I learned from my Photoshop instructor, so I gotta give him a lot of credit for teaching me this, and it saved me a lot of time. So let's get the magic wand, and we're gonna make sure this is capturing everything. So you notice that fist right there, I missed a spot, because look, this is inside the hand. So I'm gonna show you another trick how you can get around this. So while the marching ants is on with the magic wand, you go over to this box with the little spinning circle firework looking thing. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's called quick masking. So you click on it, and this red stuff is what's highlighting what's not going to get removed, but whatever's not highlighted is going to get removed. So you don't want to make sure, so we got to make sure this doesn't get removed. You can even change the colors by double clicking on the box that I just clicked on earlier. You can change the color and the opacity, so which is nice. But make sure the opacity is 50%, so that way you can see what you're capturing or what you're not capturing. And you can just change this to blue or whatever color you want. So I'm going to keep it red because I'm not going to change that, because red helps a lot. So then you go to your paintbrush, and like I said before, just like layer masking, which I'll get to in a minute, you want to make sure this is black, because you want to highlight the ones you want, the parts you want to keep from this panel. So when you do that, you don't have to worry about re-clicking everything with the magic wand. That just takes way too much time on your hands, and it takes forever, man. It really does. And then boom, you don't have to worry about it no more. So then now, what you want to do next is make sure you click on the white box thing right here next to your panel, the one you just used the smart object for. Then you go to select, and then go on refine edge. Why? Because I want to make sure that the panel that I cut out looks sharp and clean. I don't like having, fuzzy edges on the panels that I cut out. This goes for a lot of things with green screen and whatever you're working with the paneling. This is how I did with my GIFs and videos and stuff that I did earlier for my Mugen video that I made. So only two options you need is go to Shift Edge. This will sharpen it up, as you can see. So you take a look. It's lighter, now it's darker. This is sharpening up the edges that you highlighted with the magic wand earlier. Then you want to go to drag it all the way to contrast, and then click OK. And then make sure that the white box is clicked again. Go to Edit, then go to Fill, and then make sure you select it as black, and then boom. Simple as that. And look, there's nothing in the background now. This is amazing. This is a great way to remove everything from the backgrounds with manga panels. And I'm gonna do the same thing for this too. So all you gotta do is click on this, and which key did I use for Alt? Oh, there it is, or Control. Sorry about that. Not perfect at making tutorials, but this is my first time. Actually, my second time, because the last one I made was a live stream, and it took forever to do, and it was kind of sloppy. This feels sloppy too, but it feels less sloppy, Yeah, this is amazing. Wow. All right, so what you want to do now is save this as a PNG, because we're only working with one panel. If this was multiple, then if we were working with eye movement and arm animation, then you have to save it as a PSD folder, file. But I'll do that in another video next time. Right now, I just want to teach you guys how to remove panels and backgrounds, and then the best way to get rid of this stuff, because it feels less stressing, because like, oh, look at all this crap that I need to remove. So tutorial. We're going to turn this to a PNG. when you click on format, and then I'm gonna name it Kenshiro Stands. Then once that's saved, you go to the wherever you saved it as. Then here it is. And then has no background, which is nice. So if you own After Effects or you own a trial, I highly recommend it. Make sure you get After Effects 2014 CC. Reason why, because one of the things that I'm really upset about is if you were working with animation and you were including sound effects, you cannot play they removed the RAM preview for After Effects 2017 and 2016. So now I can only play the video, which it has a good render to it. It's like you don't have to worry about rendering, but I prefer the rendering because then that way I can see the results of my video that I'm about to, render or export. But, Adobe's kind of screwing up, changing things that are not broken, so it would be really nice if they can bring that back. So I actually own both Creative Cloud 2017 and 2014. So like I said, get 2014 if you can. It's the best one. Alright, so go ahead and drag this down to After Effects. Drop it in next to the left panel where it says Projects. I just dropped it on FX, but it automatically takes it here. And then there's your panel on your left. Go ahead and drag it down. And then you notice the panel is right here. So you can just mess it around. This isn't a blank screen or a blank background. So we're going to turn this. We're going to shrink this. So in order to, make this smaller, just click on this little arrow. Click on the arrow again where it says transform. And you can go to scale. And it shrinks down the size, which is nice. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put this in motion. Now, I just want to say that once you have all this set up and everything, with the After Effects, you can turn this to a graphic design, a motion graphic design. You can turn this into anything you want. So I'm just showing you guys how to work with just panels that just move, and then I'll teach you guys how I do the those awesome action scenes that are fully animated with a lot of moving panels and stuff. So I'll show you all those amazing things. But for now, I'm just going to show you how to just to make it move. Just a warm up, So you want to click on. I already have this open, but if you click on this arrow and click it again on transform, this will give you all the options to move the panel, scale it up, which I already showed you guys already. So you want to click on position, and then you want to make sure he's going to just pop up, okay? He's going to pop up. So, whoop, whoop. And then once you do that, make sure that you have everything positioned so he's like right there. I think I'm going to change that color. Click on this color box right here and turn that orange because I like orange. It's easier to see. And then you click on position. Then you scroll all the way over here because this is the starting point, guys. This is the starting point when the model's going to move and when it's going to start, whenever it's going to take the action. So scroll back up and it goes to the end point. I'm going to scroll up a little bit right here, because I want that dramatic scene when he pops up slowly, kind of like what I did with my older episodes with MangaMation. So let's see, I'm going to put up another one right here until he goes all the way up, and I'll show you what I mean. So you want to click in the so after that, this is because this right here, this is going to move slowly, and this is not how I want it to move. So click on the zoom in time, increase it, and then click on the key in the middle because this is from beginning to end. This is more of a checkpoint until it gets to the end, until it gets to the last keyframe. Drag it over here to make it move faster. That could be a little bit faster, And you want to drag this over here too, because then this would take forever to pop up. A little bit further. That's a little bit too fast. There we go. That's nice. That's nice. And just check the full preview. Just click on RAM preview. See, this is rendering all this so you can see the full preview of what it's going to look like once you export it. Takes some time, but yeah, it's worth my time. I want to see the results. Whoa. That's a little bit too fast. See, there's a reason why I like this. It's a great software. I mean, it's a great preview. Or, I mean, tool, excuse me. Alright, so now that we got this in motion, it needs background and particles, which you've seen in my MangaMation episodes, and you're probably wondering how I do that. So basically, all you have to do is press Control and Y. This setting will pop up, and then this will give you a solid object. And I want that to be white, so it's automatically set for white. Usually it's black, but we want a white background. Just drag it underneath the panel that you placed earlier, and then you want to duplicate this by pressing Control D. Rename this if you want to, just so that way you know which one you're working with. I'm changing it to particles, and then we're going to click on. Now for the particles, you click on Effects, and then scroll all the way down to Simulation. Then scroll down again and click on CC Particle World. This yellow stuff, or red and yellow stuff, is the particle. This will change your solid objects or any picture to a particle. So as you can see, it looks like fireworks or sparks from someone welding. So it's really nice. I use a lot of this. I use this on a lot of videos that I do. So we want to turn that black, and we want to make it look like it's going up in the air. So we want this to be matched with the motion panel. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on Physics, and you're going to go down to Velocity, and you're going to scroll it down to the left till it looks straight as possible, like a shooting star. There we go. Then you want to go to Producer, and you want to click on Radius Y. Oops, wrong one, guys. Radius X. This will spread it out to fill up the entire screen, which is really nice. Then you want to go to Position X, and then, oops, nope, that's not it either. I'm screwing up. Scroll all the way up to the background, and then go to Longevity, and then you scroll it to the right till it looks like it's till it looks like rain, basically. So to change the colors, you just click on Particles, and then you click on these little two icons here. So change that to black, and then change the red to black. There you go. So now so here's the particles. What I'm going to do now is to make this move faster, like it's action-packed, or like an action, like a little dramatic scene for the panel on the way you use it. So you go on to birth rate, because you want to have a little less of these. see about. I think 0.4 is right. That'll do. So this is done. You don't have to worry about that no more. So you want to right-click particles again, and then change the timeline or time stretch. You want to drop it to somewhere between, let's say, 23. And then this will stretch it out. It goes faster once you change the panels. Oh, like look at that. Oh, and I don't want to see this start up. Let me give it a control real quick. See how this this drops in? I don't want that. I don't want that opening gap. I want it to be solid the whole time. So you just scroll it this way, really. That's all you have to do. Scroll to the left, and then you're good. All right. Let's bring this back to 100%. Now it looks like an action panel. There we go. Yeah, that looks really nice. Alright, so now you open up Illustrator Cs6. I have Cs6. Yeah, if you have a newer version of it, then that's great too. But let's get to it. Now click on New, and this is optional. I usually go with video and film because I want to get the best picture as possible. Because when I remember when I was looking back at my older like things somewhere between episode 4, the panels were a bit pixelated in a 720p picture, including 1080p. That's why I went with 720 or 1080 because I got the best quality for the speech bubbles in episode 5 for MangaMation. So yeah, I'm gonna go with 720 though, because this video is gonna be set in 720, 60 FPS. So speech bubbles. Oops, made a typo there, but oh well. And then you get this green scaled box. So this is the whole picture right here. Make sure it's not outside the picture of this picture, whatever you want to call it. So what you want to do is you want to go over to the shape tool, and you want to drag down to ellipse tool. Make sure your these colors are in a solid fill, and the outline is black. Because I'm going to show you a cool trick. This is why I like using this, because it's much easier to work with speech bubbles and paneling. And as you can see, I'm dragging. Well, that's a bad color. I can't see that. Oh, you'll see when I finish it though. So I made this shape right here, and then you want to see this is too small. Look at the size of the stroke. How are you gonna make that look like a panel? You know, a speech bubble. So kind of looks like one right now though. So you click on it, and then you go to stroke, and you can see the stroke is getting bigger. There we go. Then you want to go to the pen tool, and you want to make a shape kind of like a curve, make it look like it's you know, like it's coming from the character. So because you can see the Kensho's right here, so you may want to look at the position of the character and make sure this is the full scale. And yeah, make it over here, and make the shape right here, and then oops, I'll just go with the opposite. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Let me try this again. There we go. And then you want to kind of scale this out to make it more curved in. And if this doesn't curve correctly, you can always click on click on it and hold, and then this little box will pop up. You want to add another anchor point. So when you do that, just click it in the center right here where there's no anchor points, and then as you can see carefully, there's a new anchor point where you can tilt it. and I want to drag it down though because I want to make that more curved. There we go. That's looking like a speech bubble now. So what you want to do next is you want to just highlight the two and then go over to Pathfinder. And what this will do is it will reform, or you could say it just reforms a new shape. So if you take a look, this is now a full shape. It's a brand new shape. And on top of that, it gives you new anchor points. See? Alright, so now we need some text in the speech bubble, which is very easy. You just click on the T, and you just type in whatever you need to type in. So let's say, this is a Himu Kim tutorial. You can always just click on it and then upscale it. And if you want to change the text, let's see. You go on a character, and if you guys want to download anything that's like a comic book, I went to several sites where you can download fonts and you can include them, which is really nice. I'll post a link where you can get these kind of panels. I mean these fonts. Excuse me. Now it's complete, and this looks like a speech bubble now. This is really nice. So, how many times did I said that already? So, now all you have to do, you don't have to worry about merging these two, but if you want to, make these stay together, you can always go on Object as you highlight the two, and then you can always click on Group. And this will keep them together. It's not merged or anything. It's kind of like attaching, it's kind of it's like you're basically pinning the panels together, so it doesn't go nowhere, it doesn't scatter about. So now you click on Save As. Oh no, I'm a liar. Shoot. Click on Export, and then save it to the folder that you guys made, or wherever you made it, and then make sure you click on Save As Type, and then save it as PNG. Make sure it's at the highest setting too, so 300 ppi. So now you just want to click on Speech Bubble, drag it to After Effects, do the same thing you did before with the manga panel, and then just drop it in. And then, whoa, look at the size of that. That's pretty damn big. Let's scale that down. Let's see. Right there. Yeah, that's perfect. Wow. Yep. And you're wondering how I got this thing faded. And let me see if this thing is recording. Yeah, it's recording. Just been making sure. And all you have to do is just drop the percentage to 0. Oops, on 4. And just time it when it's gonna fade back on. Let's see, just about right there. Put a new starting point there for the keyframe, and then just turn it back to 100. And voila! Let's see how fast that appears or fades in. I can't tell if it's slow or not. Hold on. Gotta render first. It kind of renders a bit slow. Let's make that fade in a bit faster. There we go. That's better. That's much better. Alright, so then the last part you want to do is giving it motion blur when the characters move, because you see that a lot in my videos when they're moving and stuff, and it makes the frames look a lot more cleaner when they're moving around. So make sure you just click on this symbol right here. This moving circle shows motion blur. That's what you got to do. You can do the same thing for particles. It makes no difference. I haven't seen a difference between the motion blur for particles, but if it works, it works. And then the last part you need to do is just make sure you're whatever you're highlighting to render this. I mean, exporting it. So that's all you got to do, and then you just go on export to add to render queue. Now, I don't have an option to save this as an MP4, but if you do have MP4 option, you can save that as an MP4. I'm just going to save it as an AVI because this gives me the full, let's see. This gives me the best picture quality and the right frame rate. So this is going to be 720 60 frames. And just let it render. Oh, hold on guys. Look what I did wrong. I forgot to attach this. Forgot to parent this. So basically, what a parent does is it stays attached to the like I said before. It's kind of like grouping the layers with Illustrator panels. So what you do is you just click on this little circle thing. Looks like a Dreamcast symbol, and then drag it to the Kensho panel. And what this will do, it stays attached to the character as it's moving. See? So now you can save this as a AVI. And that is pretty much it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the tutorial. Sorry if it was so long. I'll try to make it shorter for my future videos for tutorials, and I'll try to keep it like 12 minutes long rather than like 40 or 30 minutes. I mean, that's pretty much a half hour. So yeah, give me guys your feedback and see. Tell me what you think. And if you want to learn more from MangaMation, please let me know, and please support it. Yeah, so I'm Kim, and I'm tuning out.